If you bought the Dewalt air compressor, don't return it. Do this instead. All right, here it is. This is the Dewalt air compressor. It's a Flex Volt Advantage 2.5 gallon. Now, what this thing does, because this thing senses like a differential in pressure, you just have to trick this thing to get it to turn on. You just have to mess with this valve because it's sensing the ambient pressure, whatever you want to call it, the atmospheric pressure versus what's in the tank. And sometimes it wouldn't even start. And at first I thought that it was, you know, one of these knobs or something up here, but it was actually because of this valve. So that's another symptom of your check valve going out. When you get it home, it's going to work fine for about a week or two. And then you're going to slowly start realizing that you're starting to lose pressure overnight. And if you leave your batteries inside this thing will cycle overnight if you don't turn off this switch, which I never do. And then you'll come back to a dead compressor, no charge in the tank, and it's really frustrating because you just spent $220 on this. Now, I know what you're thinking, I'll just get the other brand. The Milwaukee is almost $400 right now. This is still $220. This is an excellent value. I'm going to show you the easiest way to fix this. If you have this compressor and it's fully charged up to roughly about 120, 130 PSI, that's usually the kickoff. You'll see on the side here, we've got these hose clamps by this hose underneath here. Turn on this light. So right there, there's the hose, and it's going into this insert fitting here. And then we've got another fitting on this side. We've got to get to this here. All right, that's where the check valve is. This fix was done during a live giveaway. We were waiting for some more likes before we would start the giveaway, more people to jump in.
Let them know that when you get to 30, you're going to do the giveaway.
Hey, when we get to 30, we're doing the giveaway. So that's why my teammate here, he's reading the commentary in the chat.
Onitis St. Woodworks says that's a pretty compressor.
But I'm about to show you the part numbers, how to fix this, and this is the fix for the check valve.
Wait for 30 thumbs up before the giveaway. Okay.
Alright, my apologies with the hat in the way, but you just spin this counterclockwise. It pops right out, and I'm going to show you the part number here. We got the N6822054. This is the check valve for this Dewalt 20 volt compressor. Sure. It already has Teflon tape on it. That's nice.
Together, it's pretty epic.
Good thing we're not using a pressing wrench.
Do you guys know how many Dollar Trees I had to go to find these? Just one. Ham. So I leave it alone. Well, hello, Mrs. Tools and Tactics.
Right. Let's see if we fix this thing. So, because this thing senses like a differential in pressure, you just have to trick this thing to get it to turn on. You just have to mess with this valve because it's sensing the ambient pressure, or whatever you want to call it, the atmospheric pressure versus what's in the tank. And sometimes it wouldn't even start. And at first I thought that it was, you know, one of these knobs or something up here, but it was actually because of this valve. So that's another symptom of your check valve going out. But now this thing should just fire up.
Fired up.
Oh, that's a good sign, dude. And you can see where I've got this pipe joint, pipe thread compound, and I use this to help seal it. Probably use a gasket maker, might be better, but this is what I had. All I did was I took out these 3 screws, 1, 2, 3 here, and then on the bottom side, you've got 2 bolts. And if you go to Harbor Freight and you get this kit, I think it's the blue one, which is a 10 mil, of course, 10. So you undo that. This side just pops off. This side will stay right here, so you don't have to worry about this whole thing falling off. This thing maintains itself. You don't have to worry about it just falling and crumbling in your hands like some things do when you take them apart. You'll take off this side and you'll have full access to the hoses. Now it's very important because any amount of PSI is very dangerous in your skin. You can inject yourself with air and you have to immediately go to the hospital. So when you do this, you want to discharge the tank. So you want to take this valve back here. You want to do that and let the air all the way out. Make sure the whole tank is empty before you start playing with this, especially if you're trying to feel for leaks. It's better to hear for leaks than it is to feel for leaks. Once this is off, you're going to have access to the hoses. The first thing you're going to notice is it comes with these stupid clamps. Now these clamps are very easy to come off. You can see right there it's got a predetermined kind of spot. They're not like a normal hose clamp where you can just keep wrenching on this thing until you feel like it gets tighter and then keep going until you know that it's super secure. These things stop and they're predetermined, and frankly it's wrong. It's the wrong size. They've got some kind of crimp going on up here. These things are junk. Absolute junk. I can't stress that enough. If you have this compressor, I guarantee you it's probably leaking. This is my second one. I bought one, used it for 2 weeks, homeowner use, not even in a professional setting. And after running it a couple of times, doing a little bit of trim work here and there, I realized that what I said before, I was losing pressure and I could hear hissing. And sometimes that hissing wouldn't stop. Sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. And it was so intermittent, I didn't know if I wanted to return it, if I wanted to fix it. I ended up returning it, got another one. I still have the box. Now, this recently started doing it again, and of course it's a couple of months later, so I can't return it. I could warranty it, but they're probably going to put these stupid clips back on it. So, this is the fix. The internet, if you look at the forums, they'll say something about super glue. I didn't do the super glue. We kept that in the package. We went to O'Reilly's, AutoZone, whatever your auto store is. Home Depot had this, Ace Hardware. Go get you some hose clamps. Get you some pipe joint thread compound, or get you some gasket maker, something like that. Once you've discharged the air like we talked about, very dangerous. You want to go ahead and put that on the barbs because it's got like, kind of like a barb that this hose comes off. So you got to kind of twist it as you're pulling it off. It'll eventually come off. Put some pipe pump compound on there, slip the hose back on, and then tighten your hose clamp. Make sure your hose clamp isn't contacting with this tank because this can vibrate a little bit. You don't want to be rubbing metal on metal. And these hoses are nylon reinforced on the inside. You can see that little line right there. That's nylon reinforced hose, so they can absolutely be hose clamped. Don't have anything to worry about. And yeah, this thing is held overnight with the same PSI. And I'm very happy about the fix. I'm happy about the compressor. DeWalt, you know, they could have done it a little bit better and used the proper things, but the fact is they didn't. This compressor is the best value at $220 just for the compressor. And I still do recommend this compressor, only because I was able to fix it. I'm going to do an update video here in a couple of months and let you know how it's going. And you need 3 hose clamps. There's one behind... There's a let's see if I can find it here. There's an aluminum hose there that goes to the valve that comes down to the hose. That's one hose clamp there. Then you got another one right here. And then you have another one right there, and that's all that was leaking. These were tight. You can see they have the Teflon tape still on there. This one has some red thread compound in there. These did not leak. These were tight. I checked all the connections. Everything seemed like it was tight. It was just the hose clamps. It's just a bad design. And yeah, shame on you, DeWalt. But here we are. Here's the fix. Now you know. The internet says super glue. I don't recommend super glue. I recommend what I did.
There's no excuse for not being honest and not being accountable. If you messed up, you messed up. If I messed up, I messed up. I'll let you guys know when I mess up. I make sure to let you guys know when I mess up. You got people buying that accessory, and granted, most of the people watching channels like this are not professionals. They're homeowners. They don't know what they're looking at. The general population that watches tool content is not a professional, because the professionals are too busy busting their ass all day and night working to watch someone else pretend to do it on YouTube. And I say that with respect, because you could say that I pretend to do it on YouTube, because I'll bang a box on a 2x4 and I'll make it up. I'm still pretending. I do it all day, used to do it all day. Now I do inspections. I'm still pretending.
It's not that you're pretending, because you have the knowledge, you have done it. You're demonstrating at that point. Now, some of these, there are nurses and whatnot that do this. Guys that have never actually done it in the field, that do tool demos and whatnot. Those dudes, they're pretending.
Keep watching whatever you want. I'm not here to persuade you on anything. People mess up all the time. It's about not being accountable.
See, it was up until this point, when the triumphant music started playing, that I realized that this was a lie.
Did you see that clutch kicking in?
Even my 7-year-old daughter knows that SDS drills have a clutch mechanism built in case you hit rebar so you don't break your arm, lose control of your drill or tool, or fall off a ladder. I was so invested in this video that by the time I finished it, I was genuinely upset. But the last part of the video is what made me make this video.
Listen, stop using Tapcons without this inexpensive accessory.
Now, I do agree that that's a good system to drive Tapcons. It seems like it works really well. Don't put it in a hammer drill and use an STS drill, but the result of the Tapcons not breaking had nothing to do with the actual Tapcon tool itself. The inexpensive accessory that he is holding is a $400 STS drill with a clutch mechanism built in. Thought that was relevant here. This was just a 40-second clip on one of their videos. I wonder how many more videos are like this. So, give it a try. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.